Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, today in the field review series I am going to change it up a little bit. Still going to be doing an ESEE. The last field review series video I did was on the ESEE 5. In theory I should go and do the ESEE 6, but y'all have seen a bunch of knives, so I'm going to throw in a twist today. Today we're going to do a field review on the ESEE Gibson Axe. Now, this axe is kind of unique. James Gibson did a heck of a job designing it. If you look at the way this is shaped, when you hold it straight up and down, the head's got a little bit of a downward twist to it. And part of that is because of, as he calls it, the rocker of the tool itself. If you sit this thing down and then lay it down, the bottom of the handle here and the center of the blade will both touch at the same time. So that makes it very efficient when you chop with it. This thing is 1/4 inch thick, the same as the ESEE 5. Now, my understanding, this is designed as a carving axe, and we'll go into that here in a minute. This thing will take an ungodly edge on it. I haven't touched this up since I sharpened it, but we'll do some chopping, and actually you can baton with this. You can make feather sticks, carve, and we'll get into all that. So let me get you down here where you can see what we're doing. This is not that big. It's 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches in diameter. My understanding, like I said, this is designed as a carving axe and not so much as a chopping tool, if that makes sense. It's more of a designed as a woodworking tool. But it will chop up small pieces of kindling. Without any problems. Now, let me just get a piece over here. You can also baton with this. This piece is a little bit bigger. Sit you back up here so you can see what's going on. Move that stuff over here out of the way. For kindling, shelter building, that kind of stuff, this is a heck of a tool. Let's try and stay out of that natural check, but I'm going to have to use it. Alright, let's get your stump back over here. This cutout in that head allows you to get up on it. You can even come all the way up on it like this and use it. Keep cutting them off the bottom. can make good curls with this thing choked up on it like that. I'm not going to get into a lot of the chopping task because it's an axe. Everybody knows you can chop with it. The only thing that I have found that's interesting is if you're making a tent stake or something like that and going to drive it in the ground, you have to get creative with it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Instead of driving it this way, you almost have to drive it from the side and just a little bit forward of the handle to drive it. It works. I wouldn't recommend driving metal tent stakes with it that way, but wood stakes, plastic stakes aren't going to hurt it. Let me grab another piece here. There we go. Seven notch. Hard to hold on to. Square notch. Oh. The control you have with all the handle positions on this is incredible. So it lives up to its purpose as a carving axe. Now, if you had just the one tool, could you get by? Yeah, probably. Is it the best tool to use as a standalone tool? Probably not. I guess you could turn it upside down and use it to gut an animal or maybe skin an animal, but how much control, I don't know, you would have with this handle sticking up over top of it like that. Seems to me it would want to make it roll side to side as you used it. But if it was the only thing that you had, could you get by with it? Yes, you could. I have seen some people even go as far as wrapping this upper portion in paracord to thicken it up and make it a little easier in the hand to hold and use choked up like this. I've never tried it. Most of the time I've always got a knife on me, so having to choke up and do a lot of fine work is not what I plan on using this tool for. It doesn't mean you couldn't do it, just that's not what I intend on using it for. Now, the one drawback, other than the edge on this knife, there is absolutely, positively no sharp edges. There's no place on this tool that you could scrape a ferro rod. Everything's been rounded so that it'll be comfortable to use. The only thing that you could do would be scrape it with the edge, and I'm just not a fan of that. The only complaint I've had with this tool is the mask. When I first got it, the mask come off right here, if you can see where it's been cut, and then come around and snapped, and was designed that when you put it on, it come around right there and snapped just like that. Now, it served its purpose, but when I got it, it was so loose where the snap was at that I could take it and fool with it a little bit and take the mask off without unsnapping it. Now, how I fixed that is I cut the piece off, made a new strap that comes around back here, and there's no way that one is going to come off. So, what do I think of this overall? I waited and waited and waited to get my hands on one of these, and my wife found one somewhere online and ordered it for me for Father's Day. It was one of the first tools that I did a video on this channel. I have used it a lot since then and have no complaints other than the mask, and that has nothing to do with the use of the tool itself. I've heard a lot of people complain about the chipped handles. I find them very comfortable with no hot spots. Find them very easy to hold on to when your hands are cold, wet, hot, and sweaty, whichever. I don't have any issues, no hot spots or anything with that. Now, I think they have went up a little bit in price. When I first got this one, they were going for about 155 bucks. I think they've gone up since then. But for the price, you get a very handy tool because you can do a lot of things with this thing. Now, as far as weight goes, it weighs in at about 20 ounces. So it's just a little bit heavier than the ESEE 5. But overall, the weight is very well balanced in this tool. I couldn't, if someone was looking for a small belt axe to do carving, to do tent stakes, to do kindling, stuff like that, I couldn't recommend this enough for that. Now, if you're going to get into trying to chop down trees that are 4 inches in diameter, then this might not be the best tool for that. With that short handle, you don't have a lot of leverage on the swing. Could you do it? Yes. Are there tools that could probably do it quicker? Absolutely. A good 24-inch axe would do a whole lot better than this would at taking down trees 3.5, 4 inches or bigger. Not saying that it can't be done with this, it's just that's not what this tool was designed for. So there we go, throw you something different out this time. I've got one more knife to do in my ESEE collection, and I'll try to get that in the next couple of days. I'm out here today enjoying the weather. It's about 54 degrees outside. Gonna rain all day tomorrow, and then they're calling for on Thursday the temperatures to bottom out, and probably going to get about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch ice, and then finish it up with sleet and snow on top of that. So Thursday night, and Friday is going to be a fun day. But like I said, wanted to throw you something different. You've watched me beat on a bunch of knives. Figured I'd let you watch me beat on something a little out of the ordinary this time. So there you go. Like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll get another one up for you soon.